There are many specialist finishes on your card available, but you may be wondering if it's something you even need for your at-home printing. Well, let's find out. Before we start, I would like to say a great big thank you to the amazing team at Cutz, as they are kindly sponsoring today's video. They're a company that I have used and raved about for years. If you check out my earliest videos, you will see that they are the paper card company that I have recommended, and I feel so incredibly honoured to be working with them today. One specialist card finish is RC Waterproof, and it's a finish that has so many useful applications for small businesses, and it's definitely one that I have enjoyed using myself. So in case you didn't know, RC stands for resin coated. This is a finish that is applied to the paper to enhance its printing properties. With this coating, it definitely enhances the image quality. You get excellent colours and sharp details, and the coating itself also helps to stop the ink from bleeding and spreading. It's also quick drying. The resin coating helps the ink to absorb quickly, which obviously minimises the risk of smudging or smearing, which is great if you have lots of orders that you need to complete quickly, because it means that there's no time having to wait for it sat around on the printer to dry before the next one can be loaded. It's also durable. The resin offers an extra layer of protection from both fingerprints and obviously the oils that they can carry, and fading that's usually caused by exposure to natural light. This makes it a perfect media for cards that are going to perhaps be kept for a long time, such as keepsake cards. A wonderful quality for the Paper Cutz RC Waterproof is that it's waterproof. This makes them perfect for greetings cards, as accidents can happen, as I have experienced several times in the past in my personal life. The same as most of Paper Cutz ranges, the RC Waterproof is also available in lots of different finishes. Today we're going to be looking at the satin, silk and gloss. Before we jump ahead and look at the different finishes available, I want to highlight why having a waterproof card finish is definitely beneficial over having a standard one. As I mentioned before, we've all been there. I have several times been rushing to a party, and in typical me fashion, I've left filling out the card to the last minute, and in my rush, I've managed to spill my water over it. This isn't so bad with shop brought cards, because obviously the printers and the media that they use is typically waterproof. So you can just dab it all up, and providing that the card is not completely soaked, you'll have no problems whatsoever. But with cards printed in a home studio setting, any liquid on the actual printed part can be a disaster. Even with my semi-professional printer, the Canon IP8750, it's still a bit of a tricky one if you manage to spill it on a standard card. It's the same scenario that our customers face, which is why I always try to go the extra mile when I can. To test out the benefits of having your greetings card printed on the RC Waterproof, we're going to have a look at what happens when I spill water on the standard card finish and the RC Waterproof card finish. So we're going to start with the matte photo card now and see exactly what happens if I was to spill water accidentally on it when I'm at home. So there we go, and obviously, as I said, you need to try and get it off as quickly as possible. Ideally you dab it. So as you can see, the design itself is held up pretty well. But if you look closely, there is a slight bleed of the deeper colours. Also, if I open up the kitchen roll, you can see that there is transference of the colour. So obviously that's not ideal. But when I do the same with the RC coated card, There's no bleed on the card design itself, and there's no transfer on the kitchen roll either. So the coating's really living up to its name and making sure that that stays waterproof. As I mentioned earlier, Paper Cutz has a range of different finishes for the specialist RC coating and also different GSM. The type you will choose will completely depend on what you plan to print. For greetings card, the RC waterproof gloss is great. It gives an amazing depth of colour and really makes your designs pop. Plus, you have the added security of knowing that cards printed with the specialist finish are more durable and long lasting too. For more specialist designs such as wedding invitations, a gloss can look a bit cheap. You still want the same vibrancy and depth of colour as the gloss finish, but you want it to be more elegant and have a nicer feel in the hand. That's where the silk and satin finishes are the perfect fit. The finish on these invitations is beautiful. Not only does it make the graphics pop, but the text is beautiful, crisp and clear too. Invitations and save the date cards are handled a lot, so I like to avoid gloss as it tends to stick to the skin slightly, and there are a lot of people that dislike this sensation. The silk and satin have a more textured finish which feels nicer in the hand. At first glance there doesn't seem to be much of a difference between the prints, but in real life you can definitely see it. The satin is smoother, but without the sticky feel of a gloss. There is a subtle sheen to the finish, which helps to show off the print and give depth to the colours too. The silk has texture, and as you can see, there is more of a linen effect when it's printed on. This elevates it above standard paper, and it is something that brides especially love. There are times when I run out of thank you slips, and I hate the thought of sending an order without my branded notes. That's where the RC silk finish comes to the rescue. The quality of these matches that of the ones that I buy from my printer, and it's also great to be able to create short runs of seasonal designs in-house. Unlike the gloss finish, ink dries really quickly on these, meaning I don't have to wait around after writing names on when I'm packing up orders. I've created my usual thank you slips, badge packing boards, and even custom gift message cards. Because my business isn't as busy as it once was, I couldn't justify getting all of these printed by my printer. Sometimes I also like to trial new designs for my packaging, and it's really helpful having high-end finishes without having to buy hundreds of each design from my printers. So there you have it. There are so many reasons that you shouldn't just use one card type or finish for your designs. If you want the best results printing for your small business, you really need to match the paper type and finish to what you're creating. I really hope you found this useful, and I've actually been informed by Paper Cutz that they're currently offering free postage on all orders. We all know how heavy cardstock is, and obviously the postage usually reflects this, so it's the perfect time to stock up. I've put the links for the cards that I've used in this video down below. As always, if you have any questions, please comment and I'll get back to you. Likewise, if you have any video suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!